Are there any questions you have for us before we ask you questions?
Yeah. I want to ask if everybody is hungry.
Well, not really. We're hungry for God.
Oh, good. That's good. Because when I fast, like what you are doing right now, alone, I did feel hungry sometimes. Because I'm too near other humans, and the smell of cooking and all that is very tempting. But if you are alone and you have a supportive group like that, you are lucky. And you feeling good?
Yes.
You feel more elevated and lighter after a week of juice, right? Yes. Very good. So you are having a drinking party, huh?
Vegan drinking party, right.
Remember that one. That's good.
Talking about spiritual group.
So what we're moving towards is not so much green technology, but a greener diet. That's really what we're moving towards. The fast just sets people in the position to go towards a greener diet immediately.
Yes, I'm so happy that you are doing your drinking party, green party, yes. And I'm very happy that all the people there are so brave enough to go there and try, yes. Or maybe they did it before, maybe they are juice expert.
A lot of people here are new.
Yes?
This is their first experience, and that's why we call them heroes. Because once you've done it, it's really easy. But before that, you got to overcome your fear, and that's why they're heroes.
They are all heroes, even if they have done it before. It's not easy, is it? Just to forsake all the things that you like every day. They're true hero, even if they have done it how many times before. Because, the first one is heroic because they don't know what it's going to be like. But the one who done it before is also a very great challenge, truly. For me, it was. I couldn't say that it was easy. Sometimes I did it for many weeks, sometimes just 1 week. And in the first few days, it was not too easy. But later, it is better. Yeah, is that right?
Oh, that's correct.
Absolutely. That's correct.
The mind plays tricks on us. I was watching a DVD of some spiritual program, and the man's tie was yellow, and I noticed, this was the third day, and I noticed that my mind started imagining me eating corn. And I just became aware that the mind was doing it on its own, and I was looking at the mind, imagining that I was eating corn, and I had to slap it into some discipline. So definitely, it's a little challenging, but with the support of the group and our prayers and what we've been doing, the yoga, the meditation, the support, it's a lot easier for people to make it through.
Yes, you are doing the right stuff. The cleansing of the body through 1 week fasting of juice is very, very beneficial to your health, at least. And when you have a healthy body, your mind will be also clear. I gained some of the spiritual elevation through this kind of fasting as well. So I have to tell you, I meditate intensively and I can feel the level truly rise up. I mean, almost physically that you can feel it. And it was very rewarding. So I hope all of you or some of you feel the same.
Yes.
You can feel all the chakra just like rising up and open one by one, like one door after another, tuck, 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 like that.
Yes.
It's almost physical, truly. Could even feel the physical sensation as well. Any of you have that?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Congratulations. Congratulations. And when you go home after today, keep up the same concentration and devotion that you have here with the Reverend and a wise doctor, doctor of the mind as well. Truly, many diseases can be also eliminated this way, huh? Yes, so it cleans up everything. Yes, I'm glad you have done it. I'm glad that you have enough courage and stamina to do it. But of course, under the wise guidance, it's always safer, hey?
Yes.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'm so glad you did. Yeah, both of you, the Reverend and the doctor, they are your benefactor.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very good.
Thank you.
Good people.
Thank you for your support in this whole thing, because we're going to be doing this around the United States and in Canada.
Wonderful.
So we hope to see thousands of people fasting by the time we're done, and then going vegan.
Yes.
Which is the punchline.
I see.
It sneaks up on them. We starts off getting them to fast and clean their
Right.
body temple, and then we break the news on them.
Right.
That they can actually save the planet by
Yes.
transforming themselves to a plant-based diet.
That's right.
We operate on the pleasure principle, and as you get into fasting, and particularly as we do the Kali Retra Yoga and the meditation, Shaktipat meditation, people begin to get the pleasure of the divine in their lives, and then that's an encouragement to keep doing it because it
Right.
feels so good.
Yes. You see, once we break through the habit of the conception that we need food every day, we need solid food, we need this, we need that. Once you prove to yourself that I go through 1 week, I could go through another week even, and I fear nothing anymore. After that, you feel a sensation. It's not just about having no food for 1 week, but it's the courage in you will raise up that at least for a while after the fast, you feel like you fear nothing. You have such a courage. And that you can do anything. You could, go without food for a long time even. And not to talk about trying to change to vegetarian diet, vegan diet. So you can do many things. You feel after 1 week fast or 2 week fast, we choose, you feel like you are invincible. Is that how you feel?
Yes.
I feel that they can live by the very word that comes from the mouth of God now.
Right.
Yes, that's right.
Because they can feel that word resonating throughout them. It may be time, if we could, to ask you some questions. We have a list of about 8 questions. Is this a good time to do this?
Yeah, sure. Please.
Greetings. Your television network has been actively broadcasting about the urgency of climate change and its connection to diet choices. Could you
Yes.
share with us some of the recent data?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Gladly. There's so many news every day showing us how urgent the situation is for our planet and the huge role that our diet plays in saving the planet. Since you asked, I would just name a few. I guess many of them you know already, or you could look up on the internet. But since you've been drinking, I did the looking for you. Now, in September 2008, Dr. Rajendra Pachauri, head of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, he's the one who got Nobel Peace Prize together with Vice President Al Gore and others. He stated that scientists had called to tell him that the emissions from livestock were much higher than previously estimated. You see, before they said it was 18% in the Livestock Long Shadow Report, 2006. But now the emissions from animal farming are actually higher than that. As far as how much higher, they are not still very sure. But Dr. Colin Campbell, the bestseller of nutritional biochemist book, he said that his colleagues at the World Bank found that 50% plus of total greenhouse gas emissions right now are coming from livestock raising. And that is not even the sure percentage yet, you see. And Dr. Campbell revealed that this information is not yet the highest that they have estimated, that they have researched. They think would be more. Okay. And he has revealed this information to us in an interview with the Supreme Master Television. Right now, the climate scientists are telling us more and more that if we reduce livestock industry, we reduce methane. And that is the most immediate way to cool the planet, because CO2 from fossil fuel may take tens of thousands of years, you see, to leave the atmosphere and cool the planet, according to the research. But methane is 23 times more potent, hotter than CO2. And they dissipate average over 10 years or 20 years. So the latest report from IPCC scientist Dr. Kirk Smith in USA said that methane is a much hotter gas than currently reported. Yes, he said that it could be 60 to 100 times hotter than CO2, average over 20 years. So methane goes out in the atmosphere in 9 to 15 years, disappear, compared to up to thousands of years for CO2. So if methane is reduced, the warming will be reduced immediately. You understand the logic, yes? Because CO2 stay longer in the atmosphere, but methane go and disappear quick. So the way we reduce the methane is by reducing animal agriculture. If we ban meat, ban livestock raising, then the methane gas will be cut, for up to date, at least 50%. Can you imagine? It's a very big chunk. And then the planet will be cool immediately. Compared to CO2, it takes 10,000 of years to cool off. Right now, the most problem gas that hit the planet is methane. You see, because it's a lot of them. According to the scientists, it's already 50%. That they say more than 50% even, you see. So if we stop methane, meaning stop the animal rising, then we stop 50%. They say just 50%, at least 50%, you see. And now if we change into a vegetarian organic farming, then that practice alone will cut 40% of CO2 as well out of the atmosphere. So you see, we're gaining. Not only we cut 50% of methane gas, and by doing organic farming, we cut another 40% of CO2 in the atmosphere. See, we gain all the time. And double together, then of course we cool the planet. I'm not talking about a miracle. I'm talking scientifically and logically, and every one of us and every one of you can go onto internet or ask these famous doctors of climate, see what they say. Livestock are the single largest source of methane. Between 35 and 40% estimate presently of methane emission globally, according to the UN Food and Agriculture Organization. But I think it's underestimated. I'm sure of that, though I'm not a scientist. Because if you add things together, it's not only 40%. Now, this is why Dr. Kurt Smith recommended that the government impose extra tax on meat to change habits. This is a good idea, but I feel it's a little bit slow, but it's better than nothing. It's good for two reasons. Number one, the scientists at Carnegie Mellon University found that eliminating all animal products and eating vegan for one day is 7 times more effective than eating locally grown food for reducing emission. Number two, Food Watch Institute said that switching from a conventionally raised standard diet with meat and dairy to an organic vegan diet reduced 94% of the emissions from our diet. So these are the most recent data that I can update to you. And they are telling us clearly that not only it is very urgent right now, but the fastest way to solve it, the quickest, the most effective, is by reducing the emission-intensive meat industry practice. Thank you so much for listening to all that.
Thank you so much for your work. And here in Southern California, there's a drought currently, and talking about water rationing. And what do the experts in the interviews have to say?
The expert told us a lot of things. Yes. They say that California right now is headed toward the worst drought in California recorded history. The worst drought they're heading to. The Sierra Nevada mountains, which supply much of the rest of California's water, is supplying now 61% of the usual amount in this past winter season even. We're not talking about summer yet, when it's dry. California produces 50% of fruit, vegetables, and nuts that are grown in the United States. But the U.S. government has announced that farmers will not be able to buy any water from the state. Imagine this. They supply 50% of your fruit and vegetable, but now they're not able to buy any water from the state. And their state is in the drought predicament because the main source of water for farmer is expected to go dry this year. Greenhouse gases are causing deserts to expand in California. Elsewhere as well, but now we just zoom in on California, yeah? Moreover, two of the largest man-made lakes in the U.S., Lake Mead and Lake Powell, will be dry in the next decade, 2021. These lakes and the Colorado River system that fills them provide water to nearly 8% of the U.S. population. Now they're drying. They'll be completely dry soon. So, picture all this, see? Stockholm International Water Institute states that 70% of water is used by agriculture. Of that amount, a lot of it is going into planting corn and soy, and that is to feed animals, not humans. That's why we short of water, short of food. It's a waste of precious food, not just our precious water as well. The experts also calculate that 1 kilogram of beef takes 5,000 to 20,000 liters of water to produce, but 1 kilogram of wheat takes only 500 to 2,000 liters of water. That is 1/10, 10% of the amount of water for meat, you see? At a time when we have water shortage and all the reservoirs are dwindling at such an alarming rate, we are truly afraid that even if we don't take shower at all, it will not do much help. Because all the human uses and everything come together is only 30% of water around the world. Everything else mostly used for meat industry, 70% of it. You see that? So even if you and I go ascetic, we don't even wash clothes. We go like the Himalaya yogis, the one who doesn't wear clothes, and we don't wash ourselves. We put ash on our body forever. It won't help the planet. Meat industry should be cut. That will help the planet. That will help to reserve our water, to refuel our lakes and our river again. That is physically and scientifically speaking. I'm not talking about the merit, the bad karmic contribution that we are doing to ourselves by harming others and torturing animals and killing them just to save our stomach. Okay? On the other hand, if we forego 1 pound of beef, we can save more water than we stop showering for half a year. Just don't eat 4 hamburgers, and you can shower half a year every day, generously. Can you imagine the big difference like that? So if we really want to save the water for the world to be able to use for our daily necessity, not to talk about future generations, then we have to change to a vegetarian diet, animal-free diet. Animal industry must be out. That's it. Thank you.
Beautiful question. Beautiful question.
Beautiful question, yes. Heaven is all-powerful, almighty. If we are connected with that almighty by being heavenly, having heavenly quality, then we back to our original source again. Then we are connected. Then we are also part of the Almighty. Then we are blessed and protected.
I accepted the invitation to attend via video conference, and by one of the premier broadcast interviewers of our time.
Thank you very much for spreading this message, by the way. So many people live in ignorance that this is all they need is just be enlightened by the information. So my question is that daily we hear reports about the polar ice sheets melting and predictions about the rise of the sea levels. Since we live near the ocean, what measures should we be taking to protect LA like Holland and other countries are doing?
Good question, madam. Good. You've been choosing very well. Yeah, intelligent people. It is true that the statistic of the ice melt keep changing because they are being updated all the time. The reason is that they are unpredictable. You see, if the sea water is warmer, then the ice will be melted quicker. And once the ice melted, there's no reflection of the heat back into the space. Therefore, the heat will melt the ice as well and warm the water further. And both will help each other to melt more ice and heat up more the planet. So if you just calculate by, yesterday the ice sheets melt 1 meter, so today, another day, it will melt 1 more meter, and tomorrow will melt another, so it's only 3 meters in 3 days. That is incorrect. Because the water is warming, and then the ice will melt by that. And the ice melt more, we have more heat. And more heat, more ice melt, more warm water, more ice melt. You see the devil cycle. That's why the scientists could not predict it very well before, but they are very vigilant right now. They're keeping a good eyes on the situation. It's just that we don't do things fast enough. It's not just keeping an eyes on it. We have to do something. When we know the situation and we know the solution, we have to try quick. I wish we have the planet no matter what. I wish you live the way you live. I do not want just a small personal interference into your way of life. You all have free will and you have God inside. I have not much to say. Just if we know a solution, we just do it. If we love our planet, if we love ourselves and our children, any sacrifice we would do. Sometimes we say, I would lay down my life for you. I love you so much. Parents, they love their children so much. Sometimes they sacrifice everything. They work hard. Yes, they sleep less. They wake up early. They go to bed late. And they work sometimes 18, 20 hours just to protect the children. Why cannot just forsake a piece of meat? Yes, just to keep the home for them. The planet is our home. And the children, where would they go? It's not just about going. It's just sometimes the suffering is so intense and so prolonged that we don't wish that on our, harmless, helpless little children for the future. I don't have any children to talk of, but even your children is like my children. They are helpless. They need protection. The way we are polluting our planet right now is no good for us, for our children at all. So love should be translated into action. Even any sacrifice we do it. But it wasn't much of sacrifice because meat is not good for us in any case. If we eat meat and all that, it will be harmful to our health. So might as well leave it all together and we could save the planet that way. All evidence point out that meat is the number one cause of our planetary problem.
As a rabbi, we know that in Genesis 1:29, it says one should eat basically a live food vegan diet.
Right.
That's what the Torah tells us. As a Native American sun dancer and connecting to the white buffalo woman who gave the peace pipes to the Native American nations, the teaching is that everyone should be vegan. And as a yogi for 36 years, we always were taught ahimsa. And now maybe we're going to listen to the divine advice, which is very good. But this is a hard way to do it.
Yes. But you see, we need all this scientific evidence to tell people also. So we have to refer to United Nations and scientists, experts, etc. Because people have to be appeal in their intelligence. The soul understands everything. I'm sure all of them who sit there, everybody in the world, their souls know what is good. It's just their mind, their intellectual has to be satisfied. That's why we talk about scientific evidence. Like before, the United Nations predicted that, 1 meter sea level rise would be very catastrophic already and causing a lot of people to lose their homes. But just last month, scientists have learned that Greenland and Western Antarctica and Eastern Antarctica are all melting now, which had not been, factor updated before. Based on these findings, one scientist at the University of California, Santa Cruz, predicted a 5-meter sea level rise. And then another study say, no, that's not it. If all the Antarctica were to melt, which is melting now, if they all melted, then the sea level could rise up to 70 meters.
Yeah, 210 feet.
That's a lot.
21 floors.
Can you imagine that? Where are we going with this kind of rising levels? Even if we dig a hole, nowadays they have something like, they make the hole, the tube ready for you like a room, and then you can put it in the earth to, to protect yourself from climate change, from gases and all that. But how we protect ourselves in this case, when the sea level rise 70 meters and bury everything in its wake, and no more food, no more agriculture, nothing, no animals even to eat. Even if we want to eat meat, there will be nothing left for us. So, you see, how can we take measures to protect Los Angeles, California, not from rising sea levels, but also other similar consequences of global warming? See, when the sea level rises, there will be more mosquitoes and diseases. Oh, not to talk about we all die anyway. Not only the ice, you see, but also the permafrost will melt, which could potentially release billions of tons of methane gas from underneath, or hydrogen sulfide. We can die by inhaling just 1 second. So there's no way we can run away from this, except we turn to a virtuous way of life. Then we are connected with heaven, because heaven is virtuous and love and blessing. If we're connected with that, then we are one with that. Then we are protected ourselves, because we are one with heaven. Heaven is all-powerful, almighty. If we are connected with that almighty by being heavenly, having heavenly quality, then we back to our original source again. Then we are connected. Then we are also part of the Almighty. Then we are blessed and protected. I see no other way we can protect ourselves at all. If the sea were to rise, if all the gas were to be released from permafrost and underneath of the sea and from everywhere else, that's it. So now we come back to your suggestion that we have to go back to heavenly way of life.
The heavenly way of life, that's exactly right. That's what fasting introduces you, because the voice of God does come through you when you fast. It comes through you regularly. But I mean, from people who are fasting, it starts to happen. We open up to the voice of God. We eat the voice of God into our existence. That's what we're feasting on. So it's good.
And thank you for being here with us today. Many philosophers and spiritual teachers often talk about this particular time that we're going through as a challenging transition for humanity.
Yes.
That possibly lead to a tremendous spiritual evolution and elevation and awakening. What are some of your thoughts about that?
Yes, sir. Well, I'm sure you know it yourself. You just want to ask for your audience. And
it's good to get your opinion.
You see, we are in a very dangerous situation right now. But I'm glad to tell you we have reached the critical mass. Can you believe? According to my inner knowledge, the critical mass has been reached. The critical mass of the numbers of vegetarian people. Okay? It's just now we're waiting for the mind of humans to be more pliant, to be more in tune with the critical mass. For your audience, I'm saying the critical mass that you say means if a certain numbers of people be like in one-minded group, like being vegetarian. If the certain number is reached, then that number will influence the whole planet in time and make everybody become vegetarian or vegan. You understand, right?
Right.
That is a critical mass. And we have been trying, and with many other groups, and with you, and with Dr. Gabriel, and the Reverend who sit there, we have reached the critical mass just a few days ago. And it's just my inner knowledge. And now we're waiting for that to work. But meanwhile, we're still working. Continue whatever we can, from television to flyer and vegetarian restaurants, vegan seminar, and free cooking class, etc., etc. We often say the human mind is like a monkey mind. I wish that our minds are really like monkey minds. Because if our mind were the monkey minds, or likewise, then everybody would have become vegetarian long ago. Yes. You see, they experiment with a monkey, like if they teach some certain numbers of monkey to drink from glasses, then all the monkey elsewhere have not been in contact with human and not having contact with that monkey who drinks, still, they could use the glass to drink also. So that's why the critical mass of the monkey have influenced other monkeys' mind by inner connection, telepathic connection. But our mind, unfortunately, is not like a monkey mind. I wish it were. Then we can influence quicker. Now, if this critical mass is working, and I suspect it's working, just a little bit slower than we want, then maybe we will have the mass of the planet going to have vegetarian diet, compassionate attitude quite soon. And so I also beg you, all of you, the hero, the saints, the yogi there, please do something to help. Just pass out information, convince whoever you can. Yes, and everybody really does make a difference. Like I have a cooking show. I cook very simple. I teach kids to cook, but it influences some millions of people. That's why I do it. Yeah, even just a cooking show like that. So you could do even more than just a cooking show. Yes, you Americans. Americans are mighty people. Yes, in 200 years, they built the powerful nation on the planet. They go to the moon. They went to Mars. And they're going to see the next, planet that they guess exists in the galaxy. They already suspect that there exist many peopled planets. And they're going to find it. I'm sure they will. So the Americans can do a lot of things and have a big influence in the world. I count on you. I count on you.
Wow, thank you for that beautiful answer.
Thank you.
My name is Annie Jubb.
Annie, yes.
And I'm into the raw food movement as well, eating fresh raw fruits and vegetables and so on.
Bravo.
Thank you. Your TV program goes all over the world, and you're talking to different governments. What response do you get from world governments about this idea of reducing animal products to affect global change? What positive things are happening with the governments?
Good question. It's happening. It's happening. I wish it's happening faster, but at least it's happening. Sometimes when I hear the European Parliament admit that meat diet is cause for global warming, and they will reconsider to cut subsidies for the meat industry instead, and they give it to the organic farmers, etc. I jump around in my room and say, wow, my God, it's happening. I know it's just a small step, and we are impatient because time is urgent and our days are numbered. I know that. But every time like that, I jump. And my dogs is just, was so panicky. They run around me, licking me all over and ask me, what's wrong? I say, no, I'm happy. Don't worry. So I hope you're not jumping. I'm going to tell you something. Okay. Though it's not going as quickly as I would like, but look like the critical mass is doing something. You see? Because there's progress being made. Some courageous, brave, heroic leaders are helping to make the change, which is very touching and inspiring. Sometimes I cry, you know? Like in Formosa, the president, for example, announced that eating more vegetables and less meat is one of the most important lifestyle changes people can make to lower emission. A president to say that, for him, is a lot. For us, maybe it's no problem. You go to see Dr. Cousins. He say that every day. You go to the church and the reverend tell you that all the time. But for a president, you understand the political pressure he has and the unprecedented announcement that he made, never made before in history of human or Taiwan or China. For a political leader to say that is truly brave and truly is a very big step. And then his wife, the first lady of Formosa, she also set an example, you see, for the children by reading aloud an article, how to curb global warming, eat less meat, more vegetables and fruits, you see, as an effort to reduce emissions. Finally, over 1 million people in Formosa took a pledge to lower their meat consumption by signing their petition. In the United States, I guess you know already, the Hawaiian House and Senate unanimously passed a resolution asking that vegan and vegetarian meal options to be provided in Hawaiian schools. Yes. Another one, as a part of its new climate action plan, Cincinnati, Ohio was the first U.S. city to encourage less meat in order to stop global warming. It's some steps, you see, and in Europe, Germany's environment minister visited Brazil to help enact stricter regulations for preventing deforestation for meat that being exported to Europe. And James Holm, member of the European Parliament, has been working to get measures adopted in the European Union that recommend reducing meat to lower greenhouse gases emissions. Our group also made contact with governments in as many countries as possible to let them know of the planetary benefit of vegan diet. We encourage anyone who feels this same way to also reach out themselves and contact as many people as possible, including governmental representatives. And of course, we continue to make efforts through Supreme Master Television and other activities, like Loving Hood Vegan Restaurant, flyer distributing, information disseminating. We have many vegan restaurants now in different cities to provide delicious vegan meals. And it would be a trend one day, see? People should go there and they should have direct experience of how easy it is to be vegan and how tasty it is, the meatless food. We also encourage more government action by recognizing the governments that do promote the benefits of the vegetarian diet. Recognizing this also helps the planet immensely. That's all we can do. Maybe could do more, but if you have any better idea, you would tell me what else to do.
Well, thank you for sharing the good news. We appreciate
Good news, eh?
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yesterday, just some hours before this conference with you, I had an honor to be a guest at the Mexico SOS conference. And we had a video recorded support from the senator from the Philippines, from the legislator Taiwan, and from the vice president of the European Parliament. Vice president of European Parliament. He recorded a message to support us. Can you imagine? That's a big step, no?
Yes. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's slow, but I wish more leaders would be so courageous like them.
It will happen. It will happen.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for your blessing.
Hi, my name is Nature. Thank you for your work and your inspiration and your love.
Hi, love.
And scientists are telling us now that reductions in CO2 emissions will take over 1,000 years to bring about planetary cooling. So it seems that we need to do something immediately to cool the planet. On Supermaster Television, you have reported that Prince Charles has called for an immediate halt to rainforest destruction, and that NASA and climatologist Jim Hansen has urged for the reduction of carbon soot, black carbon. Other IPCC scientists you have interviewed, such as Dr. Kirk Smith, have said reducing methane by going vegan is the fastest way to halt global warming. Can you help us to understand how each of these approaches slows global warming, and how you think reducing animal products compares to halting rainforest destruction and halting carbon soot?
Okay, my love. All the things that you mentioned above are necessary. Preserving the rainforest, stopping the carbon pollution, and being vegan. Yeah. But being vegan is our top priority because, as I have also mentioned a little bit before, that this provides the most immediate cooling through actions that can be taken by individuals because we are a big group on the planet, you see. Carbon removal is also good and acts fairly quickly, but being veg is something that every single person in the world can do and immediately. Whereas changing carbon technologies will simply take much longer and we don't have time. In an interview with Supreme Master Television, Dr. Hansen indicated his agreement with this concept, saying, "We would also reduce the carbon dioxide somewhat by means of going back to more natural vegetarian type of diet, as opposed to having meat diets. So that is the biggest single thing in terms of our personal lifestyle we could change in order to help solve the climate problem. Just leave one piece of meat and we have everything else as it is right now, and more later on, as the forest will regain its strength and grow back to lushful situation again, and then attract more rains and protect the soil and cool the planet. As I said already, CO2 will linger too long, up to 10,000 years in the atmosphere, but methane dissipate quickly. And the most factor that contribute to our global warming right now is methane. And methane come from livestock rising. Do you see my logic? Yes? Okay, good. So if we cut the methane, the planet cool down quick. If we cut CO2 and still keep the methane, then it doesn't help much. Besides, we cannot cut CO2 that quick, because we don't have other technology invention right now to replace the one that we are having. The methane pollution came from livestock raising. So if we stop that, no more heating. No more heating of the planet. Because if we stop livestock raising, that means stop also forest clearance. It's because most of forest clearance is for planting stuff for animals. So we water the plant from the root is the best. If we cut meat diet, everything else cut. No more transportation for meat, no more deep freeze for meat, no more manure run off into our rivers and contaminate our river. And because of that, we have to use more chemical to clean it, so we just give more and more chemical into our body. And then if no more meat, then no more forest clearing. Then we don't even need to plant trees that much. The forest will recover itself, as we have seen in some area. Just leave it alone. Nature will take care. Truly. All we do is just work with nature, and nature will take care of everything. God doesn't put us on this planet to die. God provides everything already. It's just we overspend. We do not heed the advice of the Bible. In the Bible, God say, "I made all the herbs in the field, plants that bear fruit. That shall be your food. I made also all the plants for the animals. That shall be their food." God never say, "I made animal for you to eat." It's so clear. I wonder why nobody saw it. God even say, "Do not kill all the she-goat and the he-bullock to make offering to me, because your hands are full of innocent blood. Repent yourself." Do not kill any more innocent lives. Otherwise, if you pray, I turn my head away from you. No? Are there such things in the Bible?
Yes, it's in the Bible.
Reverend, tell me. I'm not making it up.
I think it was Isaiah.
Absolutely. You've quoted it absolutely. The rabbi just told us it was Isaiah.
Wow, he knows it by heart. But I know it's there because I read it when I was young. I was a kid. I read the Bibles. I sleep with it. I do know that God do not tell us to eat meat. He say, meat for the belly for the meat. God shall destroy both meat and them. Do not be among meat eater and alcohol drinkers. Not to be among them even, not to talk about being one ourselves. So in all kind of direction, religious, scientific, and health, meat is a no-no. So from now on, we have to realize that. And please tell everybody else. I know you know it already. Please, just don't be just a vegetarian. Be a heroic vegetarian. Be out there. Tell people. Do something. I need your help. Thank you.
Fantastic advice.
I'm honored to be in this exchange, and it's an opportunity that I enjoy.
Hi, love.
My name is Ray Fred.
Hi.
Many people say that we can just stop eating beef and we can switch to chicken and fish instead and lower our emissions. What would you respond to somebody considering that as a choice?
You agree to that, sir?
No, I just hear a lot of it. How would I respond to someone who is going that route?
Switching to anything at all other than purely plant-based diet will not really help at all. This is because of all the things I mentioned above, and first of all, eating both fish and chickens does not significantly reduce the global warming at all. Eating chicken, for example, chickens that are grown for food are a huge source of antibiotic arsenic poison and fertilizer runoff, which increases pollution and global warming effects. For example, in the United States alone, the Centers for Disease Control report that 76 million cases of foodborne illnesses are reported each year, with poultry, the chicken that you mentioned, triggering more cases than any other food group even. Sometimes these are also life-threatening, or they can leave permanent damage in the person. So there really is no reduced cost for eating something like chicken. As for fish, overfishing of the seas has already resulted in imbalances such as the so-called dead zones everywhere in the sea that do not support life. Dead zone is the area of sea, sometimes as big as Texas, that no life in there at all. No fish, no shrimp, nothing live in there because there's no oxygen. The reason is overfishing. You see, there's another condition called acidification, where the lack of certain fish has contributed to higher ocean acidity, which in turn reduces the capacity of the ocean to absorb CO2. And the ocean is a very complex ecosystem, where every living thing has a unique function. So removing even a small fish for humans to eat creates an imbalance in the sea. In fact, we are already seeing an effect of this imbalance on marine mammals. As the ocean became warmer and warmer and more acidic, more toxins are present in the water. The whales and the dolphins are thus being driven from the ocean as conditions worsen. They are suffocating them. Sometimes hundreds at a time, they're, dying on the beach because they cannot tolerate this, toxic condition in the seawater anymore. What do we think? Why the dolphin and the whale beach on the sand? They die hundreds at a time because they cannot suffer anymore the water in which they live. Water means life to them, but now water become poison. So they had to go out. They go out, they die. They stay in the water, they die. They come to the beach, but it doesn't help them either. They die either way. So even though fish and chicken may not have the obvious carbon impact that other animals do, everything is interconnected. And there's no way to say that consuming these things result in lower carbon price to the earth at all.
Thank you.
And, yes, sir. And according to scientific research, chickens are very intelligent. They have DNA almost like human. And fish as well. I have been proven that fish also intelligent. They communicate with each other. They can talk. They lead a very, very organized, very, very intelligent life. Even ants are talking to each other, according to new scientific discovery. They talk to each other in such inaudible languages that is recorded by the sophisticated scientific apparatus. So even ants, they're intelligent. Look at the way they build their city and their palace. We could not do that compared to our size. They're building, like a skyscraper by their own hand only. But they talk to each other even. Even ants talk to each other. Fish talk to each other. They do lead intelligent life, and they all have souls, consciousness in them. The ants seem to have such strong comrade-like relationship or bond. They carry the dead home wherever they find them. Like this one, trying so hard to even climb the wall to bring his friend back after trying to revive him without success. He carried him until he so exhausted himself, and sometimes dropped him from the wall and take a rest, and then finally curl up beside him. I thought he's dead and tried to separate them just to see what happened. But then he woke up and tried to find his dead friend again. But finally, he's also too tired, so they died together. I also saw one big ant touching the mouth of a dead one for quite some time. Like half a minute or something, as if resuscitating him. But after a while, without success, also he carried the dead one away. Some ants come into my office place, and they could not get out because, I don't know, it's a long way or something to climb the wall to get in. Even I tried to clean and they sweep them out, but they come back again. So I give them some fruit to eat, some fruit and some cake. And they just lining up to wait for their turn. They never climb on top of each other or fight for that, even though they were desperate. I didn't really want to encourage them to come in, but since they came in and they don't come out and they die, so I thought might as well feed them. These ant story are true story, and I have been witnessing it. And the ants, they would carry their dead friend everywhere they found, not just in one place or not just where I had a chance to see. I also saw one small ant circling around his dead friend's body 7 times, as if paying the last homage ritual. It was so touching to see, and I can't help crying. Such a tiny community, and so respectful, so loyal to each other, that might make humans wonder about their qualities, and perhaps wishing that we can also practice such virtues. Anything God puts on earth is for a purpose. We should not kill anything. We should not eat anything except plant-based diet.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for your leadership.
Thank you.
The human condition is to feel separate, yet our souls are perfect. How do you suggest to align more with the perfect spirit instead of the human conditions?
Yes. Good question. That's why you have the yoga class over there. Yes. The doctor and the reverend is teaching you how to be aligned again with yourself, with your great self, because you are great. You're not the human who sit there and looking helpless and feeling you don't know anything. You know everything. As long as you connect yourself again with the storehouse of wisdom and switch back on your great almighty power, then you're one with God again. Of course, we have forgotten. That's why we need to meditate. We need to retrain ourselves for a while. After a while, you will know that. You are that. You are one with God. You will see yourself not as a body, but as brilliant lights like thousand suns. You can see yourself like Almighty, one with the whole universe. You will see all that and more. But we need to reconnect ourselves in one way or another. If you have found a way to reconnect yourself through yoga, prayers, anything, that's good. Please continue to do so. Everything will help you along the way to rediscover your great self. You are truly great, and I'm not telling you this to make you happy. I'm telling you this because I know it. I know it like I know my nose here. Now, we can feel connected, at least in the beginner's step. We have to remember what this heavenly quality is like. Okay, loving, selfless, unconditional caring for others. We begin to do that. Unconditional love, caring, begin on our table, on our plate. Love in action, okay? We don't kill others because they all love to live. We don't kill others, especially now, even because we want to save a place for our children. If we love our children, that's the way we do. Even if we lay down our lives for them, it's worth it. Not to talk about just lay down that piece of meat, which is poisonous anyway. We should not kill animal for food because that's not the way intended by heaven. So let's begin from that. See, we live a heavenly quality life, then we are one with heaven. Very simple. Every time you do something, you start thinking, would a heavenly being do this? Yes. How would Jesus do this in my situation? How would Buddha do this in my situation? How would the Prophet Muhammad decide this moment, this action? How would heavenly being look down upon and approve my action? And every day, everything you do, if you feel doubt, you ask yourself that question. Remind yourself always of the heavenly quality. That's how you connect with heaven first. And then if you want to go more further, then you seek a guidance of a meditation expert. And you go deeper inside your great self and know more and more each day. And then from that inner knowledge, you translate into outward action. And then you will be a walking God, a breathing angel, a physical blessing to this planet. There's no separation. We're all connected even to our mosquitoes and ants. So only God knows who is truly bad, who is truly good, and who's really our enemies and who's really not. If we don't know yet, then we aspire to know. First, we have to live the life of heaven. That is, live and let live, love and forgive. Very simple. We are all connected. Okay, you will feel that. You will know that in time, or you already know it, or you know half of it, you know some of it. You will know more as you meditate more and seek deeper the true answer within yourself. Everything you have inside you. I'm only talking scientifically, physically, but you are the one who knows everything. You have all the knowledge inside, imprinted in your DNA, in your being, in your soul. You know everything. You are part of God. You are children of God. Jesus told you that. Would he lie to us? Huh? And Buddha said, you are the future Buddha. Would he lie to us? No. Why would he? Okay. If you are children of God, then you must know you are at least similar to God. Think about that. You are great. If you are not God, at least you're children of God. If you are children of the King, then you are prince and princess. Do you understand the greatness of your being? You are children of God. Please act like one. Thank you so much. You are kind.
Thank you very much for your beautiful sharing. Thank you very much for your beautiful sharing.
You inspired me.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And may we all be successful in helping the world wake up to a vegan way of life and bringing in the messianic time rather than a messy time.
See, the Reverend and you tell them that every day already.
It's good to have a third opinion.
It's true. It's true.
They can hear it in another way.
It's true, yes. It's the same soup with just a different spoon, hey?
Right.
I'm glad that you are so kind and so graceful, you know.
But you remember, there's so many people around the world listening to this dialogue and feeling the vibration of all of these wonderful heroes sitting in this room. And so it's not just the people in the room, it's the people all that you've connected us by satellite to millions of people, and they're going to feel the same love and the same commitment and the same heroic endeavor to be transformed by the renewing of their mind and their commitment to be better. All of that is happening in this small tent, so we appreciate you giving yourself for this. This is my wife that's about to say something.
Oh, hi.
Hi, thank you so much. You've really touched my heart.
Thank you for the best half.
Thank you so much. So my question is this. It's a very simple question, but it's kind of hard for me. So I might get a little teary. And maybe because I've been fasting, so I'm close to my
inner self.
What's inside, you know?
Uh-huh.
This has to do with my mother.
It's good to cry. It's good to cry. It's cleansing.
Yes. It's a celebration, though.
Yes.
So it's a celebration. So my mother is 83 years alive. And she's a beautiful person, and she came to live with us about 3 years ago. And she's a very strong woman, beautiful soul. And when she came to live with us, she was a big woman. She wore size 18 clothes.
Yes.
And she walked into our home, and we have a meatless home. We didn't eat meat in our home. Oh. And she couldn't stop eating meat, but she ate it less.
Understand.
So now she's like size 8.
Oh.
You know, she's size 8, and she's really
10 size now?
Yeah, she's really thin in her body, and she's very feisty and strong. And she eats meat very little.
You understand?
My question is this. What can I say to her? Because we've had a lot of conversations about not killing the animals, about
understand
the result of our lifestyle and its impact on the planet. What do you say to an older person who's been around a long time and who believes that they need just a little meat every now and then just to keep their protein thing together? You know, she's been living a long time, and so she considers, and she says, I just want it every now and then, just a little bit, just a little bit. And I'm thinking like, no, and I don't want to be disrespectful. She loves us. She cleans, she irons, she does everything to help us.
Yes.
What can we say to our families who've been around, who really feel like they need just a little fish, just a little bit of chicken to maintain a certain modicum of health? She does the beans and the rice, and she's getting there, you know, but maybe you're such a great teacher. I know you can tell me something.
And then we can have her look at this on television.
Thank you.
She's your mother. You see, it's difficult to tell your mother what to do, because she used to tell you what to do. Yes, I'm lucky because I didn't have to tell my parents anything. They automatically know what I'm doing, and they just volunteer and they just did it, you know, all by themselves. Quit smoking even. I think we just don't buy meat. Yes, if that helps, you can give her the information to read herself without telling her. Just let it, laying around like carelessly, and maybe she pick him up and read it, and then if she thinks she decides it herself, maybe she feel more self-respected, and not lose face, to the young generation who knows better, and she knows that, but she doesn't want to accept. You see, you have to know she lives all her life until 80. She knows a lot of things. And even though she knows it's not right, but you are a daughter, you understand? That's why I never told my parents or my relatives anything. And then it works by itself. Okay, there's one more thing. You can print all the information. Don't have to be like Supreme Master Television or my name, nothing. Just print the info from our SupremeMasterTV.com. Without title, without where from, nothing. Just scientific fact that we collected there for you. Or if she wants to watch the Supreme Master Television now again, you can show her. Just now and again, you let it run and you go kitchen, do something else, and then maybe she watch it, or you just leave it there, she watch it. You download it and you put it on the disc or something, and then you say you want to watch it, because you missed it or something. And then all this very cruel, very inhumane treatment to little chicken, they hang them in their wing and they clip their beaks and they're bleeding and they, shaking on the floor and all that, and all the animals as well. It's not just the killing even, it's the cruelty treatment that she will not be able to bear it. And then maybe that will awaken her compassion, her mother instinct, and that probably helps. Yes, it's very difficult for a daughter, even a priestly daughter, to tell her mother what to do. We have a saying in Vietnam, say, the Buddha at home doesn't respond. So
Thank you.
Yeah, so they have to go to the temple to pray to the Buddha there. The same statues, but they go to the temple instead. Yes. I'm glad you and your other best half, looking in the same direction, because it's true love and it's very nourishing and very supporting. Many husband and wife could not even agree on this meat diet stuff, not to talk about the same belief or anything, or do in the same direction. Love is looking in the same direction. I'm so glad for you. At least you and your best half is well. And that's very important. You see?
Yeah, thank you.
Excellent,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks God.
Thank you. Beautiful.
You've answered all the questions.
Good. They're all enlightened. They don't need much. After 1 week of drinking.
So we're very grateful for your wisdom. And again, bless you, bless everyone here, that we continue to inspire people to be vegan.
Thank you.
Save themselves and save the planet.
That's good. That's
Amen.
good.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Have a good time still.
We really appreciate your take on the critical moment that we're in and how we passed the critical point.
We do it.
And now
together.
This can be amplified through the wonderful work that we're doing. Thank you for being here with us today.
Yes, we're doing it together. Even though you have been telling them the same thing over the week or many other time, but good food we can eat again and again, huh?
Yes.
Okay, guys. Remember, you are God-like.
Peace and blessings.
Yes.
Blessings.
Yes, God bless us. Remember, you are God. Also bless us, okay? Bless the planet. Yeah. Bless the planet with your power. Yes? Ciao. Ciao. Love. A lot of love. You beautiful people. Beautiful people. Thanks for having me. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Reverend. Thank you, the other Reverend.
Thank you.
Love you all. My God. Beautiful. Thank you.
And it's my joy to participate in this wonderful dialogue that we had with the Supreme Master. Very sweet and very powerful. I've been vegan for many, many years. Oh. We've invited my staff this week and many people at Agape to participate in this week-long juice fast to assist them in the transition from a meat-based diet to a plant-based diet, cleanse their emotional body and their mental body so they can be more receptive to the spiritual intelligence, but also to be a participant in serving the emerging paradigm on this planet. It is so necessary at this time, since we're at this critical point in human history with the methane leaking into the atmosphere. So we've invited our community to participate. Well, I just met with my COO of my organization here, and he's said he's through with the whole meat industry and that he's going to remain vegan for the rest of his life. He's just one person, and so many other are becoming inspired as well. In the beginning, I gave up meat primarily for the spiritual reasons. I could feel and see the different entities in the food. I could see the fear and the anger of the animals in the food, and I knew that those vibrations were going into my body temple. So my initial movement to being a vegetarian and then a vegan had more to do with this spiritual consciousness. As I studied and the years went on, I discovered that it was more healthy for you as well. And then later on discovered the terrible things we were doing to the planet through the meat industry. So it came in stages like that, spiritual, then health, and then the planet. This is Michael Bernard Beckwith of the Agape International Spiritual Center. We want you to be veg, go green, and save the planet. You have the power to do so. You have the power of your fork and your mind and your intention. Be veg, go green, and save the planet. Peace and blessings to you.
I think she's such an inspiration, and she's got such a great sense of humor too, and she knows her facts. She really knows everything. I'm really inspired just by her genuineness. She's got an absolute incredible message, and we totally inspire that way of life. But just to hear it, she's very uplifting and definitely there for all the people, all the animals. She's great.
I really appreciate Mr. Ching Hai on a lot of levels. First of all, her open-heartedness and her strong commitment to saving the planet and saving the humans on the planet and the animals on the planet. That's really comes through very powerfully, and we very much appreciate that because that's what we're doing. And the synergy is wonderful to behold. I very appreciate the fact that we can get our message of being vegan and going green, and let's say going green diet, not just green ecology, but green diet, your inner ecology, out to the whole planet through Supreme Master Ching Hai's incredible TV network. And so we're really pleased. I mean, it was really good. I felt she was dynamic, real, open, and really we had a good time with her. Be veg, go green, and save the planet.
It was fabulous. I was delightfully surprised. It's just so amazing to see that so many people on the planet right now are really tuning in to this, what needs to happen, and that it's such a huge movement. And her authenticity and spontaneity, it was just an education of it. I've heard the talk afterwards. There were vegans born in the tent today. Literally people changed and just said, I cannot eat meat anymore. So it's very exciting. Hello, Supreme Master Ching Hai. Thank you so much for your work. And everyone, we can be veg, go green, and save the planet.
I thought today's event was magnificent. Her humor, her kindness, her generosity of thought, her wisdom. I love the way that she combined both the statistics about what the outer world is about and the differences we can make in the physical world, and then linked it deeply and thoroughly with the interior life. She combined both worlds and made us one. Be vegan. Save the planet.
Yay! I was obviously very inspired by the beautiful way of the Supreme Master. Thank you so very much. You are just magnificent. Just being yourself and the way God made you, and just being brilliant and letting your light shine through all that you're doing and all that you're being and glowing. You have to be that person. That's who you have to be in order to be it so well. So thank you for doing that and being that. I'm going to make a declaration. I'm going to go really, really vegan and not even eat those good old cookies that might have a little egg in it.
Thank you so much. I think the most powerful thing I heard today was just how she really stressed the interconnectedness of all of life and how every individual has the opportunity to make a difference just by what they eat and by what they do each and every day. So if every person looks at it from that perspective, then the change is made, even if it's just one person at a time. And I think that was a really powerful message. So thank you.